Yeah? You're alive?
I think so. Are you alive?
You want to check?
Oh. No, there it is. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, hello, good night, good night, good evening.
Good night.
Good night, and thank you for tuning in.
And before anybody says anything, I know we're backwards. We didn't think about it, our words, until
it's Loraiwa. It's Loraiwa.
And mine
is Snoggard.
Snoggard.
All right, let's see who we got out there in the world tuning in tonight on this fine Friday evening. We've got Stacy in there. Hello, Stacy. Good to see you. Anita, of course, Anita. Hello, Anita. And Viviana. Oh, hey there, Viviana. We were just talking about you. Nothing bad. Nothing this time bad. And I think that's it. That's it. It says 6 watching, 2
That's it?
of them are us, so that's 4. So maybe somebody else is watching, but they ain't got the fingers on the hammers. You know what I'm saying?
I think Anita said that they've got a craft show tomorrow.
Oh, that's exciting. That's pretty exciting.
I think I'm going to have to put something on that TV.
Okay.
Because you can see the reflection on it.
Oh, yeah.
It looks silly.
Okay. All right. She's going to get that set up. And, Ed says, hello, Ed. Good to have you all here tonight. We don't have anything big planned. We did try a couple experimental things we might try and check out tonight, see if it works. And let me see, I got a text coming in from my mom. Oh, your mom is here too. All right, so she's not in the chat per se, but she is sending me a text message. So that's good. Hello there, Mom.
What should I put up? That?
Sure.
That's blurry. Is it just my iPad? Oh, I need to turn the TV on too. Can't do that. I can't put it up there if the TV's not on.
No, you cannot do that. So I don't know what kind of week you guys had. We had an interesting week. We got a fence. We have a full fenced backyard now with 2 gates. And that happened a lot quicker and a lot less expensively than we had projected, which is great. It's awesome news.
Why is that not turning on?
I don't know. Looks like it's got the wrong
I know. I'm
input.
trying. I can't. It's the Apple TV's on the floor there, and it's not turning on. But I can't reach it because it's on your side.
I'm like, use your words.
No.
Does that help?
No, it's not turning on.
I do not know.
Is this
Pause
dead?
while we do technical difficulties. It's possible that that's dead. Can you screen share to the TV? It's probably not hooked up for that and stuff.
I don't know how to do that, but I can attempt to find out.
All right, well, okay. In the meantime, you get whatever is on our smart TV that we have no control over. Well, we probably do, but we don't never investigate it. So Ed is driving. So yeah, don't be texting and driving, Ed. We want you to be alive in a couple weeks because we're gonna go cruising with you. What's our countdown now? Is it like?
It's 14 because
14.
This time in 2 weeks we will be on a ship.
Because our ship leaves on Friday?
Yeah.
Leaves on Friday. Does it leave on Friday?
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Why is it not working?
There's giving you some message up there.
What's it? I can't read that. It's backwards.
Sorry, we didn't do this in advance because we didn't know that we would want to, but here you go. So.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell me. Is that better? Is it all in there now?
It's
Is
very
it crooked?
bright. No, it's fairly straight. I mean, it's as straight as we can expect it to be. It's very
it's
bright.
Not in there.
Very bright.
I need it.
Very, very bright.
Okay, well, that's gotta wait until I fix this. I can only do one thing at a time.
Okay.
I don't know how to change the brightness.
I think it's just the way the phone is reading that light. I think that's the problem.
Okay.
Because it's a bright picture.
Well.
So, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, there's Les. Hey there, Les. Welcome.
Y'all can see my pictures.
Welcome to Friday, where we just fuss around with the Apple TV for 10 minutes. Yeah, so we got a fence, and that's exciting. And like I said, wasn't as expensive as we thought it was going to be. And now we are fenced in, which is great. So that was our big news of the week, you know. And that's real distracting, yeah. Oh, what is that? What the heck?
Oh, it's you.
That's me?
Your face is
Oh,
in.
it looks very, and that screen, it looks very golden. There we go.
How about that?
That looks better. That was weird. That's lovely. Yeah, that's quite nice. Where is that from?
Medieval Torture Museum.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it looks real orange on my iPad though. So I don't know why it's coming through like real. Oh, there it just adjusted. I guess it's just the camera on here trying to figure things out. Anyway, let's see there.
Oh, Stacy says he lost the thumbnail.
Yeah, that was it. So here's what we did. We tried to do some kind of fun ChatGPT helping us come up with some fun things to do. And we did get some ideas, but we didn't really have time to put them together. And then I tried to do a couple thumbnails and it just didn't work and we ran out of time. And I just said, we're just gonna have to run with it. So you got the generic thumbnail tonight, because I mean, by the time I was messing around with it, it was like 7:50, and I'm like, that. Well, there's no real point, you know, in that.
Viviana says I'd rather see you guys over random things on the TV.
Thank you, Viviana. That was kind of my feeling as well.
And Les says nice rack mat.
I had to approve that message, and I do approve that message. Les. And there's, hey there, Sean. And he says, is that Kimbra with a beard or a man in another dimension?
It's just Matt.
It's me in a dress?
And if you look closely, there's too many hands.
And it's not from AI. It's not from AI. It's from weird photo opportunities. Yeah. Halloween mat. Yeah, this was, like she said, at the Medieval Torture Museum in St. Augustine. They have one of those little things, obviously, that you can put your head in, and that was that one. So I did that. I don't know what's behind me. It looks like a bunch of skulls in a window.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Interesting place, the Medieval Torture Museum.
Yeah, not a place I enjoyed. And going into it, I said it was a place I wasn't going to enjoy.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoy it, but I still have shaving. I just took a shower too because I wanted to shave my neck beard because I don't want to be one of those people. And had a little, didn't rinse all the shaving cream out of there. Also, didn't check if it was even, so I don't have a mirror yet in the shower. And so I just guess at it, you know. Usually that doesn't go well.
Anita said, we are so ready to cruise.
Yes.
Yes, so are we.
Yeah, so really, like, we've got this weekend, we've got next weekend, and then we're getting on a ship after that. Because I was like, man, it's like 3 weeks, but it's not really 3 weeks.
No,
it's 2 weeks.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. We got to do a couple things to get animals ready.
Yeah.
We do have a person coming over. Usually we have our friend Steve come over. But this time, we found one of our coworkers that lives in Plant City who was chomping at the bit. So she's going to come over and take care of him because she was real excited about it. And not that Steve doesn't mind it, but you know, it's a bit of a drive for him and stuff. So we wanted to also have another person, because what if we go on a cruise and somebody's not available? We want to have backups anyway, so get a couple people comfortable with the procedures. It's not a lot. It's not like it's not like you got to come over every day and take the dog out in the morning and the afternoon. It's nothing that complicated. It's not even changing a litter box. It's easier than that. So Viviana says weird photo opportunities with weird people, but the best kind of weird. Well,
which one, the opportunities or the people?
Yeah, I think she meant everything.
I know.
Les says that's taking Dungeons and Dragons to a new level. Yeah, right? A little different definition of the word dungeon there, I think, Les. So, and then we got Kevin. No, it's Jennifer DeHart. I don't know why I read Kevin when I know Kevin.
It says Kevin.
Oh, that's why, because in the body of it says,
yeah.
Hi all, Kevin and I are watching on the app on our TV. Oh, wow. Can't see the comments. I got my new phone to say hi. Well, glad to have you guys here.
I think I saw Jennifer starts a new job tomorrow.
Oh,
so that's exciting.
That's exciting. That's very exciting. Viviana says, does she have to cut up pinkies? No, but I'm going to cut some up for her.
because when he said I chopped them up, she had a look of like, no.
I think she would have done it.
She didn't look excited.
I think she would have done it, though. I think she would have done it. She's got enough biologists in her. I think she would have done it.
Yeah.
So.
Simone did it.
Simone don't care.
I know, but.
Hey.
Just a little surprised.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I could just have her cut up like fish, but then she's got to thaw it.
Yeah.
It's like more of a process.
Yeah, I get it.
So. Virgil. Hey there, Virgil. Flashback from 2012 Carnival Glory. RuPaul Drag Stars at Sea. That would have been a fun cruise. Did you go on a RuPaul Drag Race cruise? Because that sounds amazing. I have seen drag queens on a cruise ship. On the Helping Hands Down Under's cruise.
Oh, that's right.
There was like another group that was drag queens.
Yeah.
Right? And they were on there.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, sometimes I've been known to wear a kilt, which in some circles, people think that's kind of drag. I guess it's a weird angle. It looks.
What's weird?
Well, my phone looks a different color than my screen down here, but my screen down here looks like it's more.
I don't think it looks different.
Colored. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's a very orange picture. It really is.
Well, it is. I mean, look.
It's
literally that
right.
color.
No, I realize that.
Do you want me to change the picture?
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can. Yeah. You put a sexy girl in there and it draws the people in.
That's right.
So that's great. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up my chat Gibbet. First, I'm gonna give you all a warning. Which is this. So I found these little weird insect egg casings on the stucco wall. Oh, there's baby Captain, and I wanted to know what they were because I couldn't identify them, and they're like the size of grains of rice. They're stacked and stuff, and I asked ChatGPT.
Why is that color so wrong?
The first thing ChatGPT said was, that's definitely termites. That's termite frass. Termite frass is a nice word for insect poop. And I'm like, that doesn't look anything like termite frass. Also, it's on the wall. Yeah, definitely 100% not that. So, I said, that doesn't look like termite frass to me. And I continued to question ChatGPT, hoping I could get somewhere that could get me a ballpark answer. And then it said it was mud daubers. And I'm like, mud daubers don't make things the size of a grain of rice. They're bigger than that. So anyway, I gave up on that. I said, okay, ChatGPT sucks at identifying obscure insect egg casings. So I'm in a group on Facebook, which is like spiders, insects, and arthropod identification or something like that. And usually I'm the one answering questions on there, but I thought, well, I'll pose this, I'll post that picture, and I'll ask, if anybody knows what it is. I've seen some people pop up some pretty, smart sounding answers. So there might be some proper entomologist in there or something, or somebody that's seen it before. And I said it's about 2 feet up the wall. There's the size of grains of rice. And the first response I got was like, it looks like insect eggs. I'm like, yes, it literally asked what species. Anyway, but then I started getting people that were using ChatGPT, like I did, to get answers, but rather than them using critical thinking skills and like maybe a little using ChatGPT as a starting point and then seeing if you can find corroborating evidence, they just ran with it. And with confidence and maybe overconfidence, I saw people posting things that it was mud daubers, that somebody said, this is what kind of pushed me over the edge. The last one I got, somebody said, and they literally said they got it from ChatGPT, that they were fossils, crinoid fossils. And I'm like, and they appeared in the last few days 2 feet above the ground on my stucco wall. Like, that was in the description. I don't know. I have little hope for humanity if you can't reason your way through that. Don't use ChatGPT to give you answers about science stuff. It's okay to maybe use it as a starting point, but it's like Wikipedia, and Wikipedia is better than that now. You can use it to like get an idea, but just assume it's a good chance it's wrong, but then it might narrow down your search to real things. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. But having just ripped on ChatGPT, I am going to go over a list if I can find it.
Oh, you're going over a list?
Well, I thought, I know we're going to do a little activity with this, but one of the first things I asked for was a list of things that people hate about cruising. And I just wanted to discuss it because I thought it was an interesting list. And we'll see if you guys agree, disagree, or whatnot with this assessment. Some of them I think you're going to agree with. I think this ChatGPT did a much better job with this than insect egg casing identification. But I don't know if it may have missed the mark a little bit. But this is subjective, so.
You just keep going.
Go for it.
Stacey said people don't read and have normal comprehension anymore.
No, I mean, it's not a fossil if it showed up, and like, have you seen a mud dauber? Mud daubers are this big. Have you seen a mud dauber nest? They're not the size of stacks of grain.
Because here's what they did. They looked at the picture and just rolled with that. They didn't read what you wrote.
So I asked 2 different AIs what those egg cases were, and I got ChatGPT was the worst, okay, but the other one I used, which I think was Google's AI, I think it was Google, I don't think it was Copilot, it spit out mud daubers immediately. And then here's the thing, when I'm like, but I said it was the size of a grain of rice, doesn't that seem too small? And then, oh yes, that's a very good point, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, then why did you suggest it? And you didn't just say, maybe it's mud daubers. You said, this is definitely 100% mud daubers, and tried to boost my ego, as AI does, which is very disturbing. But anyway, here's number 1. Reasons some people don't like cruises. Feeling trapped on a ship. You can't just leave whenever you want. Nowhere to drive away if you're bored, and feels like a floating bubble with limited escape routes. So, do cruises feel freeing or limiting? I mean, I know that everybody out there watching this enjoys cruises, so we're going to probably disagree with most of these, but do you think that's even valid? Like, would that be a valid reason for some people to dislike cruises, or is that just a misconception of what it's like to be on a cruise? What do you think?
I think it depends on the person. It's
Okay.
like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I feel trapped on a cruise,
Right.
but I can see how some people might think that.
There's Kevin Counts. Dude, I thought ChatGPT was the effing bomb. What up, homie? See, also people often these days don't understand sarcasm, but I do, and I appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, I guess there are.
Are we shaking the camera a lot? Do we need to move it?
I don't know. I can stop leaning on the table
No,
as much.
I'm just gonna move it. But you're gonna here. I'll just turn this so I can see.
Okay. I think some people that might be a valid critique of cruising. I mean, because if you really don't like what's happening on a cruise ship, you are kind of stuck. I mean, you could argue. Let's say you're in Orlando. I wonder if that changed the audio very much.
I don't know. How does it change things, guys?
Let's say you're in Orlando and you're like not digging the Disney vibe. Well, you know, you could not only can you just go to like Universal or Gatorland or something, you could also go to Miami. You could go to the Everglades. You could go to Tampa. Like there are maybe more options, but yeah, Stacy says I think it's mostly a misconception, and once on a cruise they wouldn't feel that way. I think that's probably true for the majority of people. I think for most people that is something that they would be surprised about. I don't think people realize that have that opinion. I don't think many of them realize the scope and size of a cruise ship and what they have to offer and things like that. But, you know, I'm sure there are people that would still say that. Okay, number 2. Oh, Kevin says, I thought that getting away from it was all part of going on vacation. Valid point. But are you getting away from it and just ending up trapped in something that you don't like? I don't know. I mean, if you're going to use that argument, then you could say the same thing if you're going to a location where you don't have a lot of options. Like if you went to Cancun, you're going to be in Cancun. Maybe there's a little more leeway to move around, but not a whole lot. You know, if you go to Hawaii, you're in Hawaii. Like, if you're not digging that, like if you're not into that, then you're just kind of out of luck, I think. I mean, maybe there's a few different things, but all right, crowds and more crowds, packed pool on sea days, buffet lines that feel like theme park queues, elevators that turn into social experiments. That's kind of funny. And some people here vacation and expect peace, not 4,000 new roommates. This is what I would say to this one. This could be an argument against mega ships, maybe, or even just larger ships. But I don't think it's valid on a smaller ship. Definitely not a Kevin Count ship.
Yeah, I would say that I've experienced that more so like on Mardi Gras or Celebration.
Yeah.
But we did our group cruise the week of spring break, our first one on Pride, which was a smaller ship. Not a tiny ship, but a smaller ship.
Right.
Not crowded at all.
No.
And it was a full sailing. But it didn't feel like it.
So that could be valid to some degree, maybe a little exaggerated.
I would also say that depends on where you are at what time of day. Because, yeah, if you go to the pool on a sea day in the middle of the day.
That's, yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, if you want to go, if your idea of a good cruise is just to hang out by the pool and you're on a crowded ship, then
you
that
only
might be
ever
legit.
use the center elevators, yeah.
So
you gotta, I mean.
You gotta have a little cruise smarts.
Yeah.
You need to watch some cruise channels. You need to, increase your gray matter activity when it comes to cruising, so that you know how to avoid these things. But maybe some people don't want to have to worry about that. But I think that really, if you're on a smaller, older ship, that's going to be cut down quite a bit. I mean, you're not going to have 4,000 new roommates on the Paradise
because they don't hold that many people.
They don't hold that many people. A lot of those older, smaller ships don't. So what does Islander hold?
I think it's about 2,000 or 2,300.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll give this one. I'll give the first one. Let's rate them out of 10. I'll give the first one a 1 out of 10. There's instances when it could be valid for some people. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10, because I think I think this is over exaggerated but valid for some people, and some. I mean, it's a little bit valid for me. Like, I don't like big crowds on. That's one of the reasons why I like smaller ships. Kevin Count says, "Who crop dusted the elevator?" Stacy says, "Crowds are a valid concern, but happens at theme parks and other places as well." Also valid. So you could make that complaint about cruises, but it's an equal complaint to make about a lot of other things.
Beaches,
too.
theme parks.
Right. Any place that's popular.
Unless you...
And just like that, like if you came to the Florida Aquarium this week, it was wall-to-wall people. If you came to the Florida Aquarium like a couple months ago during the week, you have the aquarium to yourself, especially after like 1 or 2. So, same aquarium, you know, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Kevin says there is rarely a line for anything on a Kevin County ship. We also are very port intensive. We have 70 straight days on Azamara coming up. Wow! With only 4 sea days. Holy cow! I mean, but if you're on a smaller ship, Kevin, I bet ports are more important because there aren't as many things to do on a smaller ship, but you do maybe get higher quality of a lot of things that there are to do, would be my guess.
We just watched a video about a what was it, like a 7 or 8 night?
Is that a 10 night?
Is it 10 night?
10 night Amazon River cruise. We started watching it.
And what did he say? There were 40 cabins?
Yeah, 40 cabins on this. It's like a riverboat, and it looked freaking awesome.
It was real cool.
It was like they saw pink river dolphins. They were fishing for piranha. They were like, oh my gosh, it was so cool. And I'm like, I would love to do that. Kimber looked it up, and this particular cruise was like what was it for
a 7 night? It was 11,000
per person.
Per person.
I'm like, I can't afford 11,000.
However, if you did it on their other boat, it was only 8,000.
Only 8,000 per person. So I turned the video off at that point because I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this ever. So I don't want to see what I can never have. 3, hidden cost, nickel and diming. Oh, this one's near and dear to my heart. Drink packages, Wi-Fi, specialty dining, photos, excursions, gratuities. It's not as cheap as it looks. This one gets people fired up. This was Matt's issue with cruising before I cruised. This was my issue. This was my concern. This is what kept me from ever considering going on a cruise. And when I submitted to go on a cruise, because it was really cheap, that's why I started watching YouTube videos. I wanted to know what microtransaction hell I was about to get myself into so I could at least prepare for it and then maybe handle it a little bit better. And there are some nickel and diming that goes on cruises, but I 100% don't think that really hardly any of it is needed for me personally to enjoy a cruise. And I don't think there's nearly as much, definitely not what I thought. Like, I thought it was like, ha-ha, we gotcha, ha-ha, we gotcha. No, you can definitely cruise without being nickel and dimed if you want to. And when I spend the extra money on a cruise, it's very rare that I don't feel like I don't mind it. Like, I feel, okay, I'm getting value for this money, and I'm okay with that. There have only been a few times when I've felt nickel and dimed, and those are very minor nickel and dimings. But But yeah, what do you think about that one?
I agree with you. I mean, I don't know if you remember before my first cruise, I kept coming over and asking you questions over
Yeah.
and over, and I think that was one that
Mm-hmm.
I just kept coming and
Yeah.
asking because I just didn't believe it.
Right. Well, and like I think I talked about this maybe last week or something. When I took that business class for my degree, and they showed us a like undercover boss type thing, and it was like the way they painted the gratuities thing. It sounded like this woman got like tricked, and she didn't know she was going to have to pay hundreds of dollars in gratuities. And now I know, and it was like Royal Caribbean, so I know it was BS TV stuff. But that was what that was what I knew. I didn't know the truth about it, and so I was very concerned about that. And you can do ships that are more all inclusive, that have less of those potential nickel and diming things built in.
Some of them have packages
Right,
that include,
right,
or or you know what you want, you purchase those things in advance, and then you don't have to worry about
right.
those. So it's not like, I would say it's not like those tiny airlines where you have
Right,
to pay for
right.
your bag and you pay for your seat and you pay for this, because you have everything that you need.
Yeah, I think knowing it.
It's just more about adding on what
Right.
you want in addition.
Knowing up front what those extra fees are, then it's not that big of a deal. But like, yeah, when you book the airline ticket and you're like, oh, what a great deal. And then by the time you're done, it's like 3 times the cost. I don't think you're going to run into that on a cruise unless you're like, I have to have the drink package, or, then
But
it can get a little pricey.
right, but you don't need those things. Like,
Well,
when I'm talking about those
we
airlines,
don't need those things.
you can.
Some people would disagree with that.
But like on those little airlines, you need a seat.
Right.
You need some sort of luggage.
Right, potentially. Yeah.
But you need those things.
Yeah.
On the cruise line,
they're more basic amenities. They're more basic or amenities or necessities. Where on a cruise line, everything that they're upcharging you for, except for gratuities, which isn't really an upcharge, but it is a hidden cost in a way. Everything though is like added perks, extra dining, excursions, photo packages, drink packages, getting a la carte or a specialty dining. Like those are none of those. You can eat good, you can enjoy your cruise without any of those, and it'll be okay for most people.
And those can be added in advance.
Right.
So you're not like on the ship suddenly having all this extra stuff.
But like it says, this one gets people fired up because it's the people that don't know that, and then they find out after they like book this, they think amazing deal, and they want the drink package because they know they're going to drink like 6-7 drinks a day, and they're like, oh wow, drinks are real expensive.
The drink package is outrageous.
Right, and then they're like, and my partner doesn't drink and they got to get it too, and then that makes some people angry, and I kind of get that, but at the same time, kind of to Stacy's point on the last one, anywhere you are on vacation, almost anywhere, not anywhere, almost anywhere you are on vacation as an American especially, you're going to pay a lot of money for food and drinks, and in most cases, unless it's an all-inclusive or a cruise, you're paying that on top regardless. So, Viviana, see? Speak for yourself, Kimbra. We need the drink package.
Okay.
I doubt Viviana needs the drink package.
I think she is capable of holding her own, but I think if she didn't have it...
I know how much Viviana drinks, and I think she's more in our ballpark.
I think, it's because of who she often cruises with.
Somebody else needs the drink package.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Number 4, food isn't always as amazing as expected. Buffet fatigue. MDR can be hit or miss. Some expect gourmet, get pretty good. I don't know. This depends on the cruise ship, the cruise line, and your taste in food and how particular you are about those things. I mean, I've seen people eat places and they're like, ugh. And I'm like, I thought that was pretty good. But, that's kind of their thing. So I think this could be buffet fatigue. Then you don't have to eat at the buffet. Like, in most cases, the buffet is not going to be the best place to eat. Maybe MSC could be an exception to that, but you don't have to eat there. Like, there are definitely better options on most ships than the buffet. Like, people that eat every dinner at the buffet, like, hey, if that's your thing and that's what you like to do, I have no problem with that. But I would not do that, especially on a lot of the ships now where the buffet is like the same every night
well, I was gonna
almost.
say, or even like for me, the breakfast buffet is often horrendous on most ships.
Oh, see, I like the breakfast buffet. I mean, sometimes they mess up the eggs or something, but
I don't.
in general, I'm pretty good with the breakfast buffet.
Unless I'm on Carnival and I can go to Blue Iguana. So
Yeah.
I mean, think about our last cruise on the Islander. I actually think we ended up in the main dining room for breakfast most days because their breakfast buffet was not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess there are exceptions, and like I see Viviana here saying, due to dietary restrictions, the dining package makes a huge difference in an enjoyable cruise for us. Yeah, I mean, for you guys, absolutely 100%. And even which ship or cruise line you guys go on can really impact you because of things that you aren't choices that you make. It's just the reality of what, can and cannot be consumed. And so that is an extra expense that you have to endure. So that could be valid for people in that situation. Again, it could go into the just know it going forward. You have to make a little more planning. I mean, unfortunately, people in that situation have to do a lot more planning to begin with because even in your everyday life, go into a restaurant or something, it can be very challenging, and that sucks. And cruise ships, unfortunately, are not really much different than that. But some lines, as we've learned from her, do a better job than others. And then Stacy says, very rarely have I really disliked the food on a cruise. Right. Yeah. I mean, me too. I mean, there's been some ships that have had, I think, a lot better food than others, but I've never gone on a cruise and been like, I could not eat anything. It was gross. Like, there's been like meals I didn't like. Of course, that's going to happen. That's going to happen no matter what. There's been buffets that were kind of meh, but I mean, I'm not starving on a cruise. I think for a lot of people, part of their enjoyment of a cruise is eating.
That's changed for me.
It's changed for me too.
Because I used to get on that ship and eat like 4 or 5 times a day.
Make myself sick.
And I just can't do. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Right.
Because I'm not hungry enough. And why
Right.
do I need to do that?
Right. So I think that is part of it as well. So if you're going on a cruise to eat, then you probably have higher expectations and stuff on the food. So that, maybe that's valid. Yeah, when I used to cruise, it's kind of like when I adopted a kitten years ago, and this poor thing must have been starved. So when I brought him home, like if I had any food at all, anything, he would literally climb my body to try and steal my food because the thing was starved. But then, 6 months to a year later, he's only eating cat food. Like, it's like he liked bananas, he was weird like that. But he wasn't like trying to take my food away from me. He wasn't interested in human food. He didn't jump on the table and try and steal. Like, he didn't do any of that anymore because I think he got to a point, like for me, when I started cruising, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I want to eat. And now I've cruised enough where I'm like, whatever, I could take it or leave it. I know I'm going to be on another cruise. I don't have to eat everything on the ship this sailing. And, again, that's my mindset, but it has changed. It has changed. Viviana says, yeah, it's not about taste, it's about allergies. Yeah, and then there's nothing you can do about that. And then she's explaining her husband's got some restrictions, which we know he's not crazy about. Anita agrees with Stacy. Viviana says, next time you go to the dining hall, try to order gluten-free dairy-free, and see what your options are. Yeah, it's tough. It's difficult. That's probably, it's going to be limited on land too, as we found out from hanging out with them. And, it's different if somebody's just picky and you're like, shut up and eat it, like, or find something you like. But if it's like you literally can't eat it because it's going to make you sick, like violently sick, that's not on them. That's all I'm saying. That's not their fault. And, I don't know what the solution is, but Stacy says, gotcha. My comment was independent. Oh, okay. Yeah. Kevin says, I'm a picky eater and I have never gone hungry on a ship. Right. Exactly.
I'm also a picky eater.
Very picky eater. And she does fine on a cruise ship. And I actually, one of the things that I really like about cruises is it gives me an opportunity to be a little more adventurous with my eating, because I like to eat different things, weird stuff, different cultural foods, which there's not a ton of that on cruises, but sometimes you find some unique things that I wouldn't want to order, like escargot. I wouldn't be at a French restaurant ordering escargot because I don't know if I would like it and it's real expensive. But on a cruise ship, I'm like, I'll try some of that escargot, and hey, I like it. It makes me feel a little sick to my stomach, but I do like it because I think I have some weird food stuff too with that. I don't know, or it's in my head. It's not in my head. No, I do know that it's not in my head. It's more than that. Anyway, yeah. So, all right, next one. Not enough time in ports. Only a few hours in amazing places. Feels rushed. I got here. Now I'm leaving. I feel this one.
Yeah.
I do feel this one. This one has made me long for not cruises. And
there's multiple places that we've gone to that we're like, we need to come do a long weekend here.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done it yet, but I can think of at least 3 places off the top of my head that we've talked about doing that.
Yeah. And, sometimes you're in a port for...
Do you know what those 3 places are?
That you'd like to go back to? Well, maybe Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, but Grand Cayman. Puerto Rico. And then one of the ABC Islands? Oh, no? Really? Oh, I'd like to spend more time on the ABC Islands.
Sure, but that's not the one I'm talking about.
Cozumel? No.
You might not think of it, but when you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, duh.
Key West? No.
We've only been there once.
We've only been there once?
Mm-hmm.
At all?
Mm-hmm.
Or just together?
Yeah.
Oh, Bimini.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. That is a duh. Yeah. Look, this is what I would say if somebody said this to me. I would say, look, I get it. You're right. You're not wrong. But if you cruise, it's like getting the sampler platter. You get a taste of all these places. You get some cool stuff. You get some cool experiences. And then what you could do, what we should do, is you can alternate, do a cruise, and then, every other year, go spend a week in Bimini or Puerto Rico or something like that. Like, we should do that. And that eliminates that. I think that eliminates that.
Well,
unless
let's do that in 2027.
Unless you just don't want the taster of it,
Because we don't have anything except for the one trip to Minnesota planned in 2027.
Yeah. And that's not what I meant. Although I am looking forward to that for different reasons. But
did we tell Stacy and Gina that we were?
I don't think we did.
I don't think...
We talked about seeing them when we were up there, but they didn't know that. We made a whole plan with the Blounce, and you were part of it, and you just don't know it. But anyway.
It's around. They sometimes do a cruise during that time.
That's true. That would suck, wouldn't it?
It sure would.
All right. So, yeah, we got comments on that one. Let's see.
Time in port is a valid concern.
Yep. Stacy agrees. Kevin says for Puerto Rico, you guys could book a cruise out of Puerto Rico and stay a couple of days pre-cruise. That's a really
Yeah,
that's a really clever way to do that. And I know JT and Jen did that. I don't know how long they were there pre-cruise.
It was a day or two. It wasn't much.
But like the problem was where they stayed, and I think that might have been somewhat of the timing they were there, but it was like stupid expensive. But I feel like Puerto Rico has to have affordable accommodation. So like
I want to go to Puerto Rico with Viviana.
That would be cool. Yeah. Yeah.
One, because I want to go to Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
Two, because I know Viviana wants to go to Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
But also because I'd like to experience Viviana's culture with her.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would think that would be cool, and then go on a cruise.
And then we can go on a cruise.
Because like Todd and Patty said, they're flying to Florida. They're gonna maximize because the flight's the most expensive thing. I don't know if that would be the case for us, but like maximize your time with that. Stacy's asking when is our Minnesota visit because we're booked through 2027 already.
2026 Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend through that week. Weekend to weekend.
Number 6, motion sickness. Even mild rocking.
I'm sorry, 2027. This is 2026.
Yeah. Even mild rocking can ruin the trip. Some people never fully adjust. Fear of getting seasick keeps people away entirely. Look, I would say that I would have told you that this was not a good argument for almost anybody, but having been a part of the cruising community and knowing some very close friends that really struggle with this, I think this is challenging. This is something that I know what it feels like to be motion sick, and if I felt that way for a whole cruise, it would really jeopardize my ability to enjoy it. So if like taking like meds and stuff to help with motion sickness is not a workable option for you, or they don't work for you, then this might be a legitimate concern.
I know of someone in this chat.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
That has that issue, and her solution is certain size ships, certain spaces, certain room locations.
But she's had some experiences.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's rolling the dice. So if you're already iffy on cruising and you have that issue, that may be a reason to not cruise. Like, I wouldn't push somebody to cruise. Yeah. I wouldn't push anybody to cruise anyway. But I would probably be like, I would think about it.
Yeah. But I mean, also I know like Ashley, she gets real sick, but she likes cruising so much that she gets the patch. She chews the ginger.
Right.
She does essential oils.
Yeah.
She wears the bands. Mm-hmm. You know, she'll do. She tries it all.
She tries it all, and the real ones actually work maybe a little bit.
Something might work a little bit. But she does it enough because she wants to get on the ship.
Yeah. I mean, my mom is super, super prone to motion sickness, and she's gotten seasick on ships before, but not like the whole time, and she does the patch, and it works for her, but I think Viviana gets it worse because she does the patch, and she still gets sick. And my mom, only if it's like super rocky, and usually just for a little bit, and then she's over it. I will say this, and I don't know if this is true for everyone, but I know several people, including myself, that this has been seemingly true for. And that is that the more that you are in those situations, the more likely it is for your body to acclimate to it. And so when I started cruising, I would occasionally get a little seasick, and I don't really get seasick anymore on cruise ships.
No. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I throw up at least once every cruise, and it's not due to drinking.
Yeah, I don't know, but you don't feel sick for like motion sickness.
No. We looked that up. Do you remember that? It was something, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't like, I mean, it may be uncommon, but somebody else commented, like I saw someone else talking about that. I think it had something to do with getting used to. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I kind of vaguely
something to do with like my ears,
so, yeah.
like your inner ears, and I mean, I know that I've got ear issues.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but I wouldn't say it's seasickness because
it's related, but it's
but
not the same
it's
thing.
It's usually the second or third night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not
weird.
it's not it's not the same as like vertigo kind of motion sickness, but it's related to that with your balance and stuff. Kevin says never push anybody to cruise. If we can bring down the demand, the prices might go down. Valid. Anita says I take Dramamine and I do fine. If I take Dramamine, it puts me to sleep, even the non-drowsy. I have taken the other one. There's another medication that's kind of similar to Dramamine that is a little less of a sleepy thing for me, but also that's experiences I've had after scuba diving and being on like dive boats. So diving is also a big energy drain. So after doing 2 dives and then riding back on the boat, I will fall asleep. Or like I'll come back to my hotel or whatever and I will just pass out for like 4 hours. But not everybody has that reaction to that medication. Stacy says, I didn't cruise my whole life because I was afraid of motion sickness, but I don't have to take anything and I never get sick. Yeah, I mean, so I knew that I had motion sickness issues because I get like motion sick playing certain video games, if I read in the car, but mostly it's worse for me if I'm on a small like dive boat, and it doesn't bother me when we're moving. It's when it's kind of like reading in the car. It's when the boat stops and I'm messing with all my gear and I'm focused on it. It's just like reading in the car and I get sick.
So that's happened to me a couple times, but it also happens sometimes when we snorkel. If I'm just if I'm not moving a whole lot, if I'm kind of just floating.
Like in the water? See, I've heard people say that, and that has never bothered me.
Which is sometimes why I'm done, because I've started to feel sick.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've never had that.
But I wouldn't say that I get seasick or motion, but I guess that's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, you're not the only person I've ever heard talk about that. If you're in like big waves and stuff.
When we snorkel sometimes.
Like in Aruba when we were on or we've been in a couple of snorkeling situations where it was pretty wavy, pretty high waves.
Yeah, and that's when I'm like kind of done because I start to feel sick.
Yeah, I mean.
So I get sick in the non-traditional ways.
Right. I mean, maybe, I wonder if you did the patch or something, if that would alleviate any of that.
Maybe. Who do I get that from?
Stacy says, I've gotten a seasickness feeling when snorkeling as well. So, and he doesn't get sick on the ship. So yeah, I mean, our bodies respond differently to different situations. Number 7 is forced fun vibe. Cruise directors, announcements, games, trivia, dance parties, contests. Some people love it. Others want zero part of it. Okay, so don't cruise on ships that focus on that, or
know where to go to get away from it.
Right, or know where to go to get away. But like, there are cruise lines that don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Or they don't do that stuff everywhere. MSC doesn't do that stuff. I don't think Princess probably does like a bunch of that stuff.
Probably not.
Royal Caribbean doesn't really do the cruise director stuff so much. There's other party stuff and vibe going on, but you can avoid it.
Yes. The only thing I will say is I have often found, and we've experienced this, that it is real hard to find a quiet place.
So here's what I would say.
There's always music.
Cruise on like Princess or cruise on Holland America. You'll be able to find quiet places on those ships.
Yeah.
MSC has a lot of quiet places on the ships we've been on. That is only partially valid because there are definitely ships that don't have that, at least not rampant.
Yeah, you just have to know what you want. Like, if that's what you're looking, if you're looking for fun, easy.
Right.
If you're not, anything could be fun. But if you're looking for the party vibe, then pick the cruise line that has that.
If the whole ship was like a sea day pool deck, I would not have any interest in being on one. Because that is not my vibe. And it's very rare that I really want to be there. But it doesn't bother me because it's even better because that's where most of the people that I don't want to be around are at. So I can go do the things with the quiet, weird, nerdy people that are doing the same things I'm wanting to do. And it works out better that way.
As long as I've got a blue drink in my hand and a book, I'm good. Blue drinks and books.
Blue drinks and books.
I wish Patty was in here.
Stacy says forced fun is easy to get away from, like you mentioned. Yeah.
I have to go get a refill on my water.
Woo!
Last week was wine. This week's water.
This next one, number 8, is kind of. We said we were going to give all these a rating, and then we totally fell off that train, didn't we? Maybe we'll try and go back through and do that. I don't know. This one kind of, I think, is the other side of the coin, but the same message, which is lack of true solitude. And I'm just thinking of the Superman's place, but it's hard to be completely alone. Always people, noisy activity, not ideal for introverts seeking quiet escapes. BS. Again, it's the same as the last one. It's the exact same answer as the last one. And you know what? Get a balcony cabin and you don't have to leave it. So there are definitely places where you can get away from people and be away from people. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. But there may be cruise lines you want to avoid. All right, number 9. Cabins can feel small, especially interior rooms, tight bathrooms. Storage can be a puzzle game.
Doesn't matter to me.
I mean,
because I'm not cruising to be in my room.
Right. I mean, I just said that about the balcony, but if you have a balcony,
well, that's different.
You can go sit on the balcony. If you do an interior room and you plan on spending all your time in an interior room, why are you even going on vacation? Just lock yourself in a small room in your house without any windows, and boom, you have the same experience for free. So what's the point of that? Yeah, tight bathrooms would be legitimate for some of our larger friends. That can be a complication that has to be dealt with, especially on certain ships. The bathrooms can be a little tight. It doesn't bother me because my old house had a bathroom smaller than the standard cruise ship bathroom, and it was a 1-bathroom house. So I don't care, but I have heard enough people that like cruising complain about that to think that that's like a legitimate thing.
Yeah, I just don't think that I'm spending enough time in those spaces.
In the bathroom?
The bathroom, the cabin.
I mean, the bathroom is kind of a big deal, though, if you don't fit.
Well, okay. Valid.
You know, like, yeah.
That's true.
As far as the storage thing can be a puzzle game, I don't know how much stuff you're bringing on a cruise.
We've never had an issue with that.
But I love the storage on cruise ships.
I've always been able to bring everything that I wanted to bring and have space for it.
Yeah. I don't have that much stuff to pack away. And I have a lot more stuff than some people because of all the technology and garbage like that I bring with me, and art supplies sometimes. But I don't know. You're bringing too much stuff. Maybe it's a family and they got like kids and, they got 5 people in a stateroom or something, but I don't see that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know people that like Takara, I think she did an interior room with the kids. She's got 2 kids and they pulled down the beds or whatever in an interior.
Yeah.
Now, sure.
Yeah.
That's probably tight.
But you know what? That's a sacrifice you make when you have children.
Yeah, I mean, that's
sorry.
That's a
not
choice.
Sorry. As a grown adult who chose not to have children, and I'm very happy with that decision. I have, if you wanted to have children and you did, then I am very happy for you, and that is wonderful. That was not my life I wanted, so. But if I did that as a sacrifice, I make sacrifices because of my reptiles and living with them. That's a choice I make. I have to live with that choice. And if I'm not willing to do that, then I shouldn't have had reptiles. With them, I can get rid of them. With the children, you're stuck. So hopefully you thought that one through. All right, so let's see. A small cabin has never been an issue for me, and we almost always get an interior. That's Stacy. Yes. Kevin says, people always say to book a cheap room because all you do is sleep in there. We get a decent room, and I'm not at all against hanging out, maybe watching a little TV. Yeah, and I feel like I don't have any issues doing that in a standard stateroom. it's cozy enough. You know, it's a little smaller than your typical hotel room, but you have access to TV. You've got a comfortable bed. Some rooms have a couch. Some rooms don't. But yeah, all right. Stacy says, "Did your AC just kick on?" Not too loud. Just wondering what I'm hearing. Yes, it did. As a matter
And
of
it's
fact,
cold, but I know by the time I go turn it off, it's gonna turn off on its own. So
it's a loud vent.
it is a loud vent. I would like to do something about this vent because it blows right down on this table.
All right, number 10. Feels less authentic than land travel. Ports can feel touristy or curated. Limited cultural immersion. Some prefer slower, deeper travel experiences. I think this is valid.
Which one did you?
The feels less authentic
I
than
didn't hear
land
anything that you were
travel.
saying. Okay, sorry.
Ports can feel touristy or curated. Limited cultural immersion. Some prefer slower, deeper travel experiences. I think you can find those, but I think that what's offered freely in your face is very curated and touristy. And I can enjoy that, but I get a lot more out of something that's a little bit more in depth, and it's hard to find. Even things that advertise that way are hard to find, at least on major cruise line ports in the Caribbean. I think that could be different maybe in other parts of the world, but it's definitely something I do kind of not like. I wish, like when I started cruising, I thought we'd go to ports and there'd be all these like handmade artisan craft kind of things I could purchase as souvenirs that were made by locals, and they'll tell you that they are until you turn it over and see made in Taiwan or something on the bottom. You know, like in Costa Maya, they desperately tried to tell me that their resin cast made in China Mayan calendars were hand carved by some little Mayan grandma somewhere, and I'm like, yeah. You mean the exact same ones I saw at the last 3 gift shops we went to and have made in China on the back of them? So I don't, and I kind of resent, like I don't resent them making money, and I know a lot of people in those situations, they need the money, and so I'm happy to oblige that, but it also kind of irritates me a little bit. Don't lie to me about it. Just be honest about it. Say, hey, this represents us culturally. Don't try and finagle me into thinking it's something it's not. But I get why they do it. You know, they don't care about my ethical concerns. They just want to make a living.
Viviana says not all ships have it, but the library is always quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are. I mean, those are hard to find now.
They're kind of going away.
I believe the Magic currently still has a library, although it's going into dry dock next month, and I don't know if that's something maybe Stacy knows.
Yeah.
What they're doing. Maybe, I mean, that's something that could be going away because a lot of those ships are getting rid of them.
Yeah. And that's kind of like same with the cruise ports, like where like different cruise lines are buying out cruise ports, and it's not just one I'm picking on here because multiple have done it, and then you get this cookie cutter cruise port. Say it's like shopping malls, you know, like shopping malls in the 90s. They were all became the same. And it didn't matter what state you were in. Any mall had the same stores, the same number of those stores, the same layout, the same food court restaurants. Like, you lost all the personality. Yeah. And that same thing I fear is happening in a lot of cruise places.
Well, I mean, that's what Amber Cove is.
Right.
That's probably what's going to be happening to Costa Maya.
It's Roatan is like that. And I think the Roatan port is beautiful. But that is what it is.
I am very concerned for Costa Maya. And I know that the locals are too, because when we went there on that excursion, they talked about it.
Well, in those kind of situations, I think they're stealing, in a sense, from the locals, because basically now you're going to their restaurants and their stores and not going out into the general public. And maybe they hire locals, but are they seeing the amount of profit they would see if they charged less outside of the cruise terminal? Probably not. So, you know, I'd like to. I want to help local culture and local society, local people out as directly as possible. If I'm buying stuff, that would be my ideal way of
Yeah,
doing it.
that excursion that we did at Maya Chan was probably one of the more cultural. Like, I really felt like I got to know what
Mm-hmm.
was going on. I mean,
And that was a cab ride.
well, it was, but it was. I mean, it was with. We did the small group. We paid more to be with a small group, so
Right.
that helped.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a cab; it was a tour. But it was But
Yeah,
it was, yeah.
but it was with a Mayan native.
Yeah.
Um,
And sometimes too, I think getting that cultural experience is something you have to work and earn. Like you're talking about. We could have just sat in the back and kept our mouths closed and not talked to him and been like, oh, the Spanish speaking man up front is talking and I'm just gonna whatever. But if you engage with them and you know show that you're interested, I've found in a lot of cases you really get a lot out of that. Like they really appreciate that. Oh, you genuinely want to know about me and my culture. Like, yes, you don't just want to buy the I Heart Costa Maya T-shirt off the shelf. You actually want to know something about Costa Maya.
well,
People appreciate that.
Our Bonaire excursion.
Yeah. That was a little different, but yeah.
It was different, but you know what? I feel like I got to see and experience Bonaire.
Yeah.
Which I didn't feel in Aruba on that same cruise.
I know, but I'm hoping this time that in Curacao we're going to get that.
I know.
With what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. What do we got?
Lots of stuff.
We
got some library talk here. Kevin says libraries are awesome. I love to take my headphones in there at night and just chill out.
Yeah.
Stacy says book some private tours to get some authentic experiences.
Right, exactly.
He says the Magic still has a library, but who knows if it will still be there. Carnival won't say until the dry dock is done. Viviana says Royal Caribbean confirmed to us that they will be repurposing the libraries and ships that currently have them.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And Kevin says, unfortunately, Azamara is removing their libraries and converting the space to Chef's Table.
Oh, that sucks.
Jeez. So everyone's getting rid of their libraries.
So, and like you also, I think, and I'm hoping to find this out on our upcoming Princess Cruise, but I know some of the cruise lines that are kind of geared toward an older crowd will have sometimes speakers come on, things like that, which are sometimes cultural or ecological talks. I know that happens in Hawaii. It probably does happen in Hawaii, but Alaska. But I think it happens in some of the Caribbean ones too. I'm hoping.
Their schedule's already out on the app. We can see what's happening.
Oh, can we?
Day.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Well, also Anita and Ed could probably tell us if they've seen that kind of thing on there. All right, next one, 11. Hygiene concerns, norovirus fears, shared space everywhere. Hand sanitizer becomes your new best friend. Look, if you want to stay a hermit and hide away from the rest of the world, then this is a legitimate concern, but it doesn't end at cruise ships. Most of the people that I know that get sick all the time are younger people that are going to like bars and hanging out with lots of people and being very social.
I think I've been on...
And that's on land. That's not on cruise ships.
I've been on 16 cruises, and I've gotten sick off of two of them.
I think I've been sick. I've never gotten really sick. I've been sick going onto them, more than I've gotten sick on them.
Well, okay, hold on. I'm going to come back. 3 of them, but one of those I got from you.
Yeah, because I was sick going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't count that one.
Yeah.
2 of them. One was the one I got off of with COVID, and the other one was our October cruise, where I know Patty also ended up with whatever I had.
Right. So yeah, it can happen, but you know what? I mean, if that's your complaint and you want to live in a bubble, then that's your choice. But I think it's a stupid reason to not like cruises. I think that the whole norovirus thing is way overblown. I've never gotten any kind of stomach. I got a stomach...
Oh, I've been on 19 cruises.
I got a stomach disease of some sort in Springfield, Missouri. No, not in Jefferson City, Missouri. Okay, in a very small town. I've never gotten it on a cruise. So it can happen anywhere. And wash your hands before you eat. Use common sense. That's all I'm saying. Kind of silly. To me, that one's silly. I know we haven't been rating these like we said we were going to, but that one gets a 0 out of 10 for me. Let's see. Stacy says there's a higher risk of norovirus on land than ships. I feel like that's probably valid. Yeah. Anita says, yes, Princess has speakers. We've seen several on our cruises. I don't mean like speakers that play music. No, I'm just kidding. That's good. Good. I hope so. I think they should do more of that, even on other ships.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was on one cruise and they had a thing advertised for like nature photographers meetup. I was so stoked because that's when I was bringing my DSLR everywhere. And like I went to the meetup and like nobody showed up. So I was the only one. I think maybe somebody walked up later and they were like, did that? Nope, didn't happen. So, and then maybe that's why they don't do that. But I think if that expectation was out there, I don't know. I feel like, hire somebody like me to do a talk on all those fish you just saw in port. I feel like people would like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could tell you about sloths and, things like that. I could tell you a lot more about coral than the MSC Foundation can.
Yeah.
All right. So you can get sick from work or just leaving your house. Oh, don't get me started about getting sick from work because I can't tell you. Almost every time I get sick, it's because people come into work sick and then they get me sick. And they're like, oh no, it's just allergies. It's not allergies. And I sit in a very small office area with a lot of people that love to come to work sick because they don't want to lose their wellness. Well, guess what? I'm not a jerk. So when I get sick, I stay home and I lose my wellness because you didn't make that sacrifice. And now 5 other people in the office are going to get sick. Anyway, I get a little testy about that.
You know what is weird though? Often when you get sick, I don't get sick. And when I get sick, you don't get sick.
That is odd.
That is strange that we get sick from other people at work, but we don't get sick from each other.
It's kind of weird. Anita says, Ed and I have never gotten sick after a cruise. There you go. Kevin says, I don't think Oceania will ever get rid of their libraries. They want you to view their ships as an extension of your home. Libraries add to that residential feeling. Yeah, except for people don't have libraries in their home anymore. So they don't have books. Now, we are an exception as I look at the bookshelves and think about the stacked boxes of books that I keep saying I'm going to get rid of in the garage. But and then there's another bookshelf in there with books on it.
Bird books,
reptile books, fish books, cookbooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't cook, FYI.
I mean, we do a little bit.
I have, I've got that Harry Potter cookbook over there. We should look through that too.
This sounds like 12 sounds like one of the other ones. Not their crowd / vibe. Party crowd versus relaxed crowd mismatch. We already covered this. Kids everywhere or not enough depending on preference. Well, okay, guess what, stupid? Make a better choice on your cruise ship. If you have kids and you want them to have fun, go on Disney. If you can't afford Disney, go on Carnival. Go during a time when kids are off school. There'll be lots of kids. If you don't want to cruise around kids,
to the kids club.
If you don't want to cruise on a ship with kids, go on Princess. Go on what did I say?
Celebrity.
Holland America, Celebrity. Go during the school year on non-days off for kids. There'll be some kids, not that many. Okay. 13, strict schedules. Be back on the ship by X time. Dining time, show times, less spontaneity than some travelers want. There are people that this is probably legitimate concern for.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that because I'm
the opposite of that. I
am very on time for everything.
Right. The more
often early.
The more choices that Kimber and I have to make, the more likely that we're going to
do nothing.
Struggle because neither one of us want to make the choice. And so having that sort of force on us a little bit, I appreciate. But I get it. Not everybody has that same mindset, and I could see where this could be a problem for some people. And I think that's valid. You know, not everybody's like me, and that's okay. That's a good thing. So this one might be valid for some people. But, you know, you don't have to do most of those things. Like, again, you can find ways around it. You can't get around the ship time, being back on the ship. I mean,
No.
you could go earlier, but you know, but I mean, you can choose the cruise you go on with itineraries that cater more to what you would want to do,
Mm-hmm.
but that does lose the spontaneity of it. You can't just spontaneously go, "Oh, we're supposed to be back on board, but I really want to go have dinner here."
Right.
Like you're SOL. But, you know, that's called life, and yeah, I guess if you were on a land vacation, maybe you'd have a little more freedom. So, again, valid to some degree for some people, but that same bane is a boon for me personally. Stacy says you can pick and choose what to do and when. Get flexible dining. Yeah, there are some uh, ways to avoid some of that stigma, I think, for sure. But it does require a little planning. And if you're a person that's all about spontaneity, maybe you're anti planning, but you know, but then you also probably shouldn't care that much what you're doing, right? Like, okay, well, we were going to do this on land, but we got to get back on the ship. Fine, we'll get on the ship and we'll see what will happen when we get on the ship. That's spontaneous too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, you can't just go into some stranger's home because you feel like it. Like there's limitations that we have to live under some sort of guidelines. And that's just a little bit of an extra one if you're on a cruise. But, you know, that also gets you a cheap way to get to the Caribbean or wherever. So, here's the one that I'm going to struggle with. Environmental concerns, emissions and ocean impact, waste concerns. Some avoid cruising for sustainability reasons. Look, I'll be honest with you. This one's, I think, very valid. And I know cruise lines are trying, and in some cases, trying to give the illusion of trying to make a difference in that front. But the reality is that cruises are harmful to the environment. But you know what? I also drive a car to work every day, and I also eat meat, and that's also damaging to the environment because of the way farming is done and stuff like that is environmentally harmful. So I don't live a perfect life. I am aware of that. Sometimes that bothers me, but also I only get one time around, so I've got to give and take where I can. And you know, there's other places I can make up for that in my life. Um, but I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that there are not impacts on the ocean from cruising, but there are impacts on all the other ships in the ocean too, and things like that. So yeah, I mean, you got to pick your battles, do what you can. I guess that's my way of justifying my knowledge of the damage it does and still doing it. You know, so yeah. What do you think about that one?
I agree. I mean, I don't want to say it this way, but it's kind of like if I don't think about it, it's not happening. Like I know that's a bad, but I have to, you know.
I mean, you know, you can't like if you focus on every worldly problem, um, and if you stop and think about it, not focusing on it feels really terrible. But the reality is, if we focused on that, we'd make a minimal impact, and you know, would be miserable. I mean, you know, like if you took every single dime you made beyond what you had to have to barely survive, and you gave it to foundations that help feed people and house people, and
Still wouldn't fix everything.
it wouldn't fix everything, and you'd be miserable. And yeah, that's selfish. I get it. And I'm privileged to live in a place where I have some privileges that other people don't have, and maybe, other things but I don't know. It's just the reality of life, and I you should do what you can, but you still gotta
I
enjoy your
recycle
life.
at work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's like I tell people when I teach people about like using reusable bags or refusing
We use refusable.
a straw or something like that. I'm like, look, I don't. Sometimes we don't remember to take our reusable bags into the grocery store. Do we not shop? Do we carry it all out by hand? No, we get a plastic bag, But the thing is, 8 times out of 10, maybe 7 times out of 10, we bring our reusable bags in, and that's 7 times that in that series that we're not using single-use plastic, and it's not perfect, but if everybody did that, that's a pretty big impact. So, I don't know. Stacy says, speaking of environmental, what do you guys think of the bill limiting dredging that just passed that probably killed the new mega port plan for Tampa out past the bridge? Honestly, I haven't looked into the details of it that much. I've heard a lot of different things about the bill killing it and how that's not all environmental like it says it is. But I haven't really looked into it, so I don't know the reality of it. Here's what I will say about it. The reason I didn't look into it is because I didn't want to know because
I want the port there.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. I would love to have a port there.
Yeah.
If I found out that putting the port there was legitimately going to do a lot of ecological damage, I would say don't put a port there.
I agree with that.
Like I would make that choice if you gave me that option, and you showed me the data that said that would be a problem. I would say I can drive to some other port that already exists. That's okay. But I didn't look into it, so I know there's a lot of politics involved in that, and there might be a lot of other things involved in that are getting around loopholes by doing this to do other dredging and things in there, which is interesting, but I haven't validated any of those claims. So all I will say is hopefully the right decisions are being made for the right reasons. And if that means that we can't have a mega cruise port in Tampa, then so be it. I would love to have closer access to big ships, but I'm not going to throw that big of a fit when we can literally drive 2.5 hours across the state and be there.
Well,
that's a pretty petty thing,
right?
For me to say, yeah, screw up the environment because I only want to drive an hour and 15 minutes instead of 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's a pretty crappy opinion for me to have.
Well, also we prefer smaller ships, so leaving out of Tampa,
right? Not really an issue.
Okay.
Although I both love and hate cruising out of the bay or Tampa Bay because it's cool to go under the Skyway Bridge, but it also takes like a really long time. But I don't really have that strong of an opinion on that.
I don't really care because none of the other ports have anything like that, so it's just like you leave.
Right.
At least Tampa gives you something to look forward to just before dinner.
Right. It's kind of cool. I also don't like it because I feel like I want to be there, and then sometimes it really alters my spontaneity or maybe by sticking to the schedule.
I've done it enough.
Right.
That I don't, unless I'm with people that haven't.
Yeah.
Or a group of, a different situation. But just you and I don't need to see it again.
Yeah. Yeah. So to recap here, we'll go back to hidden costs, nickel and diming. Did we say that one's like a what? Maybe a 2 out of 10, I'd say.
Yeah, because I don't think they're hidden.
They're not hidden. Yeah. I mean, they're not, they're kind, I don't know. If somebody made an argument they're nickel and diming them, I couldn't completely invalidate that, but I think that they're being a little much about it in most situations. There are exceptions. Food isn't always as amazing as expected. I think that's like a 2 out of 10. Not enough time in ports. I think that's maybe a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Motion sickness, I think for most people, that's like a 1 out of 10, but there are people that is a 10 out of 10.
Well,
so that's a tough one. It's a small
I
percentage, but
think
I think it's
I
legit,
think
very
it
legitimate.
depends on when this comes into play. If this is you're talking to a group of people that have never cruised and this is what they're telling you is a concern for them,
Mm-hmm.
it's a 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
If
Right.
it's for a group of people that have cruised before
Right.
and know their situation, then maybe where you put it.
Right.
So I think that depends on who you're asking.
Right. Well, that's
when you're asking them.
That's kind of why I said that too. Yeah. Forced fun vibe, cruise directors and all that stuff. I'm gonna give that like a. I'm gonna say that's like a 3 out of 10.
I'm gonna call that it's on you.
You're gonna go lower.
No, I'm gonna say it's
well, yeah,
on.
that's why I'm saying 3 out of 10.
You.
Like yeah, lack of true solitude. I'm gonna give that
Again
1 out of 10 because I think you can find that on almost any ship if you really want to. Cabins feel small. I'm giving that a 1 out of 10. Feels less authentic than land travel. I'm gonna give that a 5 out of 10. I think that's valid. I think there are ways to get that experience, but it is not always clear and obvious and easy to come by. It's depending on where you are. Hygiene concerns. I'm getting that a 0 out of 10. I think that's silly. If you're afraid of hygiene concerns on a cruise ship, you're not. I don't think looking really at the big picture very accurately. Not their crowd vibe.
It's kind of like the other one.
It's the same. Whatever we said on the other one. What was that like?
2
out of 10 or something like that. Whatever we said. I don't know. Strict schedules. I'll give that a 3 out of 10. I think some people that would be valid for, but I think very few people I think should use that as a reason not to cruise.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't like cruising. I'm not saying everybody is going to like cruising.
But these reasons aren't the right reasons.
Right. I think if you're giving these as reasons, they're excuses.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like cruising, you just don't like cruising. You don't like what port you're going to. You don't like any of the activities that people do on ships. I mean, it might be that you just have different likes, or you might be a curmudgeon.
Or
I don't know.
You haven't found the right type of cruise for you.
Right.
Like, look at Kevin Counts, does small ships.
I mean,
he doesn't do these big cruise lines for a reason.
Some people might be like, look, I really like doing this other form of travel. And I think that's 100% valid. Because that would be like somebody coming to us and being like, you should really do like traveling out west and seeing like the Grand Canyon and stuff. And I'd be like, I mean, I would do that once, but it doesn't sound like something I do all the time. And that's my take on it. And that theirs is not invalidated by that. Weather can affect everything. Oh, I don't think we saw that one. Rough seas, missed ports, rainy days. Okay, that one I'm just going to tell you is a 1 out of 10. And the only reason I'd even give it a 1 is because if you want to save money and you cruise during hurricane season, then you might end up with, or you cruise during like a really weird cold snap and you're only going to the Bahamas, then you might end up with some weather.
Why'd you look at me?
Because I know that was like your big thing, but honestly, like.
But I still enjoyed that cruise.
I've had storms on cruises. I've never had a cruise ruined by weather, and I've been on 20-something cruises.
I've never missed a port.
I've not either. Now I know a lot of people who have.
Yeah, I've had one time in Grand Cayman. They took us to a different port.
Yeah.
Because of the wind, but I didn't miss the port.
Yeah.
Like a different terminal port.
Right.
Like we still went to Cayman, we just went to a different spot.
Different area. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I do know plenty of people who have missed ports though. So it's just something that I've gotten lucky on, but that's the exception, not the rule.
But what, in your 29 cruises and my 19 cruises?
Some of those are the same, to be fair.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, but still, between...
How many of you guys have missed a port because of weather on a cruise? I'm sure somebody in the chat has missed a port, but I bet it's like, if we add up all the the unique cruises, not like doubling up for Ed and Nita's or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
or Stacey and Gina's, but I bet that it's I bet it's a very small
Yeah.
number. And some people like to stay on there. Sometimes the cruise lines will give you like perks for that. Like I think they'll give you cruise credits or something for that. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe they don't. And then environmental concerns. I'm gonna give that a. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10 because I don't think that cruising is. There's other things. If you want to make an environmental impact, there's other things you can do that would have a bigger impact. Giving up other things that, but I do think that it's real. It's a real issue with so much of what we do in life, and uh, it's something we need to be aware of and make conscientious decisions about to try and do what we can within reason to protect things and seeing the desecration of coral reefs and within the decade or so I've been cruising, and I'm not saying that's from cruise ships at all, but I am saying that that is a thing, and that's also a thing I know about because of my job, and so that's like for real, and some of that is anthropomorphic, not anthropomorphic, anthropogenic. So some of that is caused by things we do. I 100% think that's the reality of it, and there are things we could do to help mitigate that a little bit. And I'm not perfect. I don't do all of those things, but I think everybody should be aware of those, think about those, and when you can make a choice, make a choice. So, all right.
Stacy says there aren't enough valid reasons not to cruise. Everybody should book a cruise.
But I go back to what Kevin said.
And nobody else should book cruises so that the prices come down.
No, but of course, if you sell cruises, you definitely don't want that mindset. But.
Viviana agrees with Stacy, and Stacy says, especially the group cruise.
Right?
And then said Viviana's name.
Viviana hasn't missed a port.
Anita missed Rotan.
Yep.
And Stacy says they've missed several ports.
You've missed several ports. So, interesting. Yeah, so it can happen. It's definitely a thing that can happen. But did that ruin your cruises when that happened? Like, early on in my cruising career, like in the first 5, maybe even 10 cruises, there are certain ports that if I would have missed them, it might have really changed my opinion on that cruise, because I am so port motivated that if like I only had one port that I could get in the water and dive or snorkel, and that's the one that got cut, I'd have had a pouty face. I'm not gonna lie, I'd have had a pretty big pouty face. Now, if that happened to me now, it wouldn't bother me as much because now I cruise enough that it's okay. But I get it if you only went on like 1 or 2 cruises ever, or you went on one cruise like every 5 years and you had a port or 2 ports canceled because of weather, like that might make me not want to cruise if I was that person. And I'd be like, what is going on? But I think making more calculated decisions about when you cruise could lessen the odds of that happening, but you could get a storm at any time of year. So it's not necessarily cruising during hurricane season is when you miss ports. It could happen in the wintertime. We get pretty big storms kicking up in the wintertime in the Atlantic especially. So no yawning, Kimbra. That's contagious.
Sorry. I gotta go to bed right after this.
Nita says it didn't ruin their cruise.
I gotta get up and do a 5K in the morning.
Yeah, she's crazy.
I'll be walking it though. I'm not ready to run yet. I'm afraid to run. I'm afraid it's gonna hurt my back. Which is probably a fear I shouldn't have, and I won't know if it'll be okay unless I do it, but...
I mean, if your back starts to hurt, you should stop.
Well, right, but if I'm like moving and I'm like in the middle of it...
right, then you're kind of...
I'm stuck.
You're SOL.
Yeah, so... Yeah. I can walk.
Stacy says we missed Grand Turk on our very first cruise and missed seeing Topher the dog at Jack Shack. Oh, he passed away before we got back. That
a bummer.
sucks. Yeah, that sucks. I never met Topher the dog either, but I know you guys are doggy people for sure. So that would have really been a bummer. And your first cruise, but you stayed with it, and obviously you think that was a good choice. So, you know. Yeah.
There's not a lot of people still on here, but there's 3 things that I want to say before we finish.
Okay.
The first one is for those going on our group cruise. Just a reminder that the t-shirts are up and available for anybody that wants those. I think shipping's taking about 7 to 10 days.
I was going to say that's because we've had a few people order them now, and that's about the wait time. So you have time.
You've got time, but they're there if you want. No obligation.
No, not at all.
Just available. The second thing is if you are on the group cruise and you saw our post in the group cruise group on Facebook about our excursions and then they came down, it's because we posted them. We had made all these decisions. We purchased our excursions and then we said, oh wait, let's do something different in one of them. So we pulled it down. We rethought about it. We have a new idea. Matt just has to make a new flyer thing.
Well, and the port that we're going to do something different in is St. Thomas. We're not going to do the scooter thing anymore. And if you want to do the scooter thing, you know, by all means do it. You certainly don't have to do what we're doing or anything. And some ports, JT and Jen, are doing the same thing as us. Sometimes they're not. So you can do stuff with, you know, on your own or with them or with us. You know, it's all good. Do what you would want to enjoy the most. But we decided that we are going to do. We're pretty sure we're going to go to Koki Beach and snorkel, which is more of a cab ride once you're on the island. So it's not something that has to be pre-booked. So, yeah. So the only one that we're doing that is pre-booked is actually St. Martin, and it's that sculpture snorkel.
Yeah, I had.
Which JT and Jen are doing that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's going to suck. I think it looks cool. I tried to read up on it. It sounds cool. 300 sculptures underwater representing like the, I think it's pronounced Taino people, basically the culture of the island, but also just island culture. Like if you look at some of the statues, like some of them are contemporary too, but they're all about, and some are like historical in the sense not like going back to first people there, but like there's like a French person drunk on the beach or something. I don't know, but it looks kind of cool. It is a guided snorkel, which I'm not super excited about. Guided snorkels often are not ones that I like that much, but it's unique. It got installed in 2023. So it's fairly new. I think they're trying to copy off of a similar thing in Tortola that's been pretty successful. So it's unique. It's different. We saw statues in the water at the MSC's Ocean Key, and they've got some statues in Cozumel, at Chunkanab. There's a Jesus statue, but most of them are not. They're like Mayan things and stuff. But yeah, it looks cool. So we're going to check it out.
Okay, I have 2 more things before I forget what they are, because I already forgot one and then had to remember it.
All right.
We do still have the GoFundMe going to get Larry on the group cruise. If you're able to donate, wonderful. If you can share it, great. We're not quite halfway there. Our main goal is to at least pay off the cruise. And if we can get him here with flight 2, that would be great. There is some extra that on the what we're asking for, but if we don't get that, that's fine. That's just for him to do fun stuff. If we can't do the fun stuff, he doesn't get to do. No, I'm just kidding. He can figure out how to take care of that himself. But if we can at least cover the cruise and the flight, then that would be a huge help to him. I know I've had a lot of conversations with him. So just throwing that out there.
We know there's only a few of you in the chat right now, so like you said, we're not asking you specifically to come up with all this money, but if there's anything you can think of to do to help get that word out, then great. If not, that's all right. But we're just trying to figure out ways to really get that message out there to try and help him out, because the dude's been through a lot, and we really want him to go on the cruise. So, yeah.
And then my final thing is we are looking to do a Florida meetup in May.
Yeah.
The exact date as of right now is May 17th. More details to come.
Slightly less than a month from my birthday.
Mm-hmm. My mom will be here. So
yeah,
you'll get to meet my mother.
Yes.
What was that reaction for?
What reaction?
You said that in a not excited
I just said yes.
Uh-huh. It's like a hesitation yes.
Oh, come on. Most of these people have met your mother, right?
No, I don't think any of them have met my mother. I mean, Viviana's met my mother. Nobody else on here has met my mother.
Oh, yeah, because they weren't on the wedding cruise.
No.
I keep thinking they were on the wedding cruise, but they weren't. Oh, yeah, I guess they... Oh, yeah.
And my mom wasn't on our first group cruise.
No, she was not. And she probably won't be on the second.
No.
So. Yeah.
Viviana, will you come to our Florida meetup? You can probably ride with us. Yeah, so those are all the things I have. Mm-hmm. Did I miss anything? Those are, what did I say? T-shirts, excursions, GoFundMe, meetup.
Yeah.
Wow. We're like a real channel or something.
I don't know about that, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, most of you are pretty far away. I don't think Les is still on here, so we'll have to keep this going, but because I think it's close to Les. Isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin says, I don't see Steve Irwin, but I found R2D2. You did not find R2D2 because that is HOP3.
Yes.
But a droid nonetheless.
Tammy and I have cruised together on Windstar, LOL.
You've cruised on the same ship or line.
Yes.
You are definitely from the same group of cruising preferences. Stacy says, do we have a plan of when we're going to wear them, embarkation day or another day? I don't know if we're going to plan a day. I think...
I mean, we can if people want to. Yeah. And this is, I'm not trying to sell shirts. Like I said, we're not making anything off of them, but we're probably going to buy more than one shirt because we got those demo shirts, and then we're probably going to order another set of shirts. So we'll probably wear them a couple times throughout the cruise. We could wear them. I mean, that's what people normally do. They usually wear them on embarkation.
Yeah.
So that maybe, I don't know. We'll put it up for discussion. If people think we should have a day when we encourage people that have shirts to wear them.
So if we're going to get
we could do that.
Group picture, would we do that on embarkation day?
We could do, I hope that we maybe get 2 or 3 group pictures throughout the cruise.
Oh.
But it would be cool. But not everybody's going to have a shirt. But it'd be cool to do that. But,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. What would be kind of cool is like a before and after. So you get the before when like some of us know each other, some of us don't, and then an after and see like who's kind of like
each other now,
who's like this, and then who's like at the end or something like that, or like something like that.
Stacy said we've talked cruising 2 weeks in a row now, back to being a cruising channel, we might do it again next week.
Yeah. Real quick, Les, meetup details, if you're still there, because he's saying goodnight to everyone, safe weekend. Les, it is at the winery. Lake Ridge Winery. And May 17th.
That's as much detail as I have at this moment.
That's all we got.
Nothing else is figured out. They do have a cool VIP tour, but it's $75 a person, and I don't think we're gonna do that.
No.
But I don't know. I don't know how their tours work. I don't know if they're free or paid. I don't know how many people can do them. Like, I don't know anything yet.
We have to look and see, like, is there a restaurant we want to go to afterwards or something like that?
Yeah.
You know, we have to look into all that. And
I just
if
know,
you have any insight, if you're still in here, Les, if you have
Yeah.
any insight, because I think you are familiar with the area, maybe, let us know.
Yeah.
And then, if not, either way, we can look
Yeah.
ourselves and try and research that.
Yep. Date is determined because that's when my mom's here, and location is determined because I've been wanting to go.
There you go.
All right. And it's rolling on up to 10 o'clock.
Yes, it is.
And I have to go to bed because I got to get up to do an early 5K.
Yep.
Is it going to be cold tomorrow morning?
Yep.
Is it really?
I mean, you won't be cold. You'll be out there walking, getting your heat generated because you're an ectotherm.
Yeah, I'll be wearing a jacket.
Okay, well, that'll help because you're an ectotherm.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't help the captain. He can wear a jacket, do him no good. Is there a St. Louis style pizza near said winery? I would be shocked if there were, unless Winn-Dixie's still carrying Emos. But
and then we can go back to Les's and have
there you go.
Oven pizzas.
Yeah. All right. Stay saying good luck with the 5K. Everybody's saying good night. So we will say good night as well, which means that one of us has to stand up and turn the camera.
That's going to be me.
Is it going to be
you? Otherwise everybody's going to see down your pants.
No, they're not. You can't see below the table.
Yeah, but if you have to get up.
Well, I lifted the Apple TV. I'm wearing boxer shorts. My goodness.
I could see
them.
them.
Have you been to a Walmart recently?
I could see through them.
You could see through my boxer shorts?
The hole in the front.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd have to be... Yeah, because they're just a flat.
Good night, everyone.